everybody, it's Stephanie with Escape and Paint here. I just wanted to, I'm getting ready to play with the porch cleaner as I'm doing some things, and I'm trying to get, oh, that light's gonna blind me to death. Getting ready to work on a porch cleaner here, and I thought I'd just visit with everybody while I was doing it. I will try really hard to see any questions and answer anything that comes up as we're doing this. I'm trying to get the camera where it will actually see what I'm doing. Okay, I will try to remember to move this as needed. Okay, hang on just 1 second. I've been needing something to lift it up higher until today, so I don't understand. Okay, I'll be scooting over this way so you can see me. Okay, should be able to at least see what I'm doing. All right, I've got God Bless America here. I cut it on my vinyl to make my own little stencil here, but I do have a stencil from Essential Stencil, the little set here that has 6 in it that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to be putting my little America up here at the top. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it. And so how is everybody and what's going on? I'm not sure. Let's see. Let me see if I hit that. Nope, that doesn't let me. Okay. As you come on, if you'll just let me know, say hi so I can know you're there. If you have any questions, just ask away. I'm planning to use Deco Art Americana True Blue, True Red, and the Snow Titanium White to paint my board. I've already done the background on it. I took the True Blue and some purple, and I don't even remember which purple it was for sure. I think it was the diazonine purple, and I mixed them with a little white and kind of put it on there and let it dry for a couple of days because I had other projects I was working on. I think I'm going to do my vowels, which is every other letter on America, in one color, and then I'm going to do my M, R, and C in another one. So I'm trying to decide if I go red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white. Trying to decide. I've got some metallics here, ice blue and festive red, that I wanted to put over some of it too. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do, because I saw on Essential Stencil Melissa do some really neat stencil layering. She put some stars on some bigger letters, and I thought, oh, that's really cool, but I don't have anything big enough to do that with today, so I'm gonna have to just work around that. Red. So how is everybody doing? What is everybody doing today? It's rainy here where I'm at in Texas, so I'm putting a little of the red on here, and I'm offloading some because I don't want it to bleed through real bad. And then I'm just going to use my brush and go in tiny little circles and do it really. I'm going to do a couple of thinner layers so that it won't bleed, hopefully, because I've learned through experience that thin layers are much better. Offload, offload, offload. I think what I may try doing, since my America is wide enough, I may try putting some stripes on it before I get done. But, well, you know what I think I'm going to do? Since I don't actually have any stripes right now, I need some Essential Stencils. Got this really cool flag one, and I really want to get it. I just haven't gotten it yet. So I think I'm going to just lay this right here. And then I'll lay this one right here. Let's see that. And right there. Then I'll put one more on the edge over here, and then I'll go back and do that with the white in a minute. Melissa inspired me last night, and I was like, really, that is so cool. On her page, I've kind of been following the Essential Stencil Ambassadors and learning how to do some of the stenciling, because I'm just not very successful at it most of the time. Key is offload, offload, offload. Thin layers. Multiple layers, but thin. But Melissa's little thing last night was so cute. The summer with the different colored letters was so cute. Do I be brave and stencil under the edge of this one? I think I will. My letter's not that big, and I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. Okay, and like I said earlier, for those just now joining me, if you'll let me know where you're from, say hi, and if you have any questions, I will do what I can to answer questions regarding the paint parties or stenciling or any of that. I'm figuring out that, like I said, thin layers is better, and then you go back over them. So by the time I get down here to the A, my God should be dry enough for me to go back over it with another thin layer. I'm going to attempt to get all of the red on there and then change to the white, and then do whatever blue highlights or whatever on there that I ought to do. I was hoping I had some stars small enough to try and lay over it, but I don't think the stars on this one are going to be small enough to go over my letters very well. I don't think it'll look right, so I'm not going to do that. I may stencil, I may stripe them before it's all said and done, but I don't think I will. I think this is all I'm going to stripe on this one, but it will add to it. There are some firework ones that came in this set that I might consider adding to the sides of the board here and there. I debated putting it on first, but I didn't. Hey Linda, hey Rita, how are y'all? Thanks for watching. I'm trying to be brave here and work through my fear. This is my first real teaching anybody anything paint wise other than at a paint party, and that's a lot, to me that's a lot different. I can see you, I can talk to you, and if I'm not being clear, you can say I don't understand, and then I can fix it. Here like this, I'm not real sure if I'm explaining myself clearly enough for anybody to follow or to learn anything from me. So as I said, when I got down here, I figured that my stuff up here at the top would be dry enough, and it was, so I'm putting a second layer of the True Red on the words. Again, I'm doing thin layers. Oh, okay. Hang on just a second. I gotta figure out where my wipes ran off to. You know what? We'll just do it this way. I do have some water. I hit the edge of this stencil, and I don't want it to be right at the edge with red on that. All right. So, what's the weather like for everybody else? It's rainy, it's drizzly. I know Linda's here in Marshall with me, so it's one of those that it's wet. It's just wet. There's nothing else, just wet. I hope that America turns out. I think it'll be really cute sitting right there in the middle of it, but I'm not real sure. I'm going to try and make it the actual America striped. My son was doing a cow skull. We were walking through doing a cow skull, and he wanted it on a door hanger so he could hang it on his door, and I was like, that's cool, we'll do that. And he came up with mixing the colors for a background. Instead of doing a fence like I did on my canvas, he did the oranges and reds, wanted it to look like flames. So we did Let Freedom Ring on this side, And I'm a big proponent of making everything double-sided if I can, that I'm going to use for on my porch or on my door, just because I don't like storing a lot of stuff. It adds up really quickly that you've got a lot of stuff in your way. So I'm just keep adding I don't put too much paint out at one time. I'm afraid I'll overdo it. So I just put a little bit of the red there, and I'm kind of swirling it around to load my brush, offloading a little bit more and coming back. I'm hoping y'all can see this okay. Let me know if you can't. So I got him to paint the other side of the board, was what I was going to say, the base coat on it. And then we had talked about doing some blue and white flames, and I thought, that would be really cool. So I took it when he was at work, and I was working on the other side of it, because I just had him do this. His door hanger turned out real cute. I think I posted it on the page the other day. If you didn't see it, it was the circle door hanger that had the skull head on it. I think it turned out really awesome. But I really liked getting to paint with them more than the end results of anything, because that's always fun, getting to paint with them. I need to post. If I don't remember, y'all message me and say, hey, you said you were going to post the picture of your daughter's baseball. She made a friend of ours there. We're in another business, and she had one of the gentlemen involved in that business has the same birthday as her, and her birthday was just February 27th. So she made her birthday Twinkie a special door hanger for his office door, and it was really cute. It was baseball, and it turned out really cute, but I don't think I've shared it on the page yet. I think I'm gonna give it one more light coat, because that doesn't look quite dark enough to me on that blue. I wasn't expecting the red to need quite so much of an extra coat. We'll see. Okay, so who watching has a pet? Because my dog is pouting on the couch right now because she likes to come in the room with me, and I wouldn't let her come in the room with me this morning while I'm doing my live, because she likes to come growl at me to take her out. And I was like, no, we're not playing that game. We're not playing that game. You can go out. I took her out. She done gone potty, and she wanted to come sit in here so that she could. Oh, Rita, that's cool. Happy birthday to yet another birthday twin from my daughters. I mean, it's like I had a couple of kids in school that we had birthdays the same day, and very few people did I share a birthday with. It's like everybody has a birthday. I keep turning around. She's got multiple birthday twins and friends. Okay, this is just not looking right to me. We'll just have to put it on a little thicker and leave it to dry a little better. All right. Well, she's learned to open the double doors that are at this end. This room has two doors. It has a regular door at this end, and then it has some double doors leading into the kitchen, because this is the dining, formal living room area in this house. And so I moved a fan in front of the double door so she can't get in. Because she's old and does not like her kennel. So I put the fan in front of the door, and she came and hit it, and you could hear her go and I heard her pad over to the couch, and she climbed up on the couch. So she was sitting on the couch pouting a minute ago. I got very tickled at her, because it was like, Maggie, I love you, honey, but you gotta give Nan a break here. We refer to me as Nan because I'm Nana Puddin' to the dogs, to the grand dog. And technically Maggie is one of my boys' dogs, and my daughter has a husky, and I took her husky Australian Shepherd mix to her, and I said, Zoe, I'm doing a live. You need to keep your puppy in your room, and don't let her go hollering and howling, because she's wanting out and wanting to be in here and wanting to pesticate the other one, because she loves to aggravate Maggie. But so everybody's kind of probably going, well, why are you doing a summertime July themed door leaner right now? And I was like, well, one, because the voting's been going on lately, and two, because when you're trying to get ready for things, you want to be ahead of the game and not behind the ball when you're trying to do paint parties and such. And I thought, well, I'm not planning a party to paint this, but at the same time, if somebody was to say, I really like it, then we could do a porch leaner. This is only a 48-inch board. We had cut it a couple of feet off to make something else, and I thought, off of a 6-foot board. And so I just decided that I would just use the rest of this and do that. I've just added some white to my palette over here, and I'm going to do the white letters now. Again, offload, offload, offload. If it's not a sticky vinyl, you definitely want to make sure you tape it down good. The white looks like it's going to cover a lot faster than I expected it to. We are going to do thinner layers. Last time I did porch leaners at a restaurant, it was really cold and the paint tried to gum up, so I think it was just too much moisture in the room. But then today it's raining again. I realize as I'm doing this that I'm doing another porch leaner when it's cold and it's raining. So I'm just hoping that maybe I need to do thin layers and do layers instead of doing a thicker coat, because multiple thinner layers works better, I believe, than one big thick coat does. Okay. If you don't get the stencils early, you will not get them either. That's another reason that you need to go ahead and plan now for your summer designs or whatever. Yes, very much so, Miss Pam. Very good reminder there, because I forgot, because I wasn't gonna do a spring, wasn't thinking about doing spring. I thought, well, just because I'm not decorating with bunny rabbits doesn't mean other people wouldn't enjoy painting one or having one, or maybe doing a porch leaner. And then I went to go order the stencil to do the spring, and it was gone. There was no more. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm not gonna do that porch leaner unless I do it with the vinyl myself. I've got a string from my brush. Okay. I think that one looks pretty good. I'm going to peel up the tape that I put down for my red and white stripes here. We're going to see if the America looks okay right now. I'm probably going to switch which brush I'm using, just because I want a smaller one, because I'm going to do that one just a little bit different. I don't necessarily want to put tape right back over the wet paint that I just did. So I think what I'm going to do is set this brush to the side here and grab a smaller one. What do I use? Okay, I'm going to grab a smaller one that's kind of flat on one edge, and then I'm going to just get a little bit on here. Now I'm going to go slowly down that edge, but I'm going to go up and down. So that we don't cross the line too much, but I still get that stenciled look. A little bit of red in there is not going to break my heart terribly, but I do not want it to be just a big mess. So, oh, that's got a lot more red in there than I wanted. Okay. So what are some things that y'all would want to see me talk about, or that you would maybe want some help with, or is there anything you're interested in learning more about that maybe if I learn it and I learn some cool tips you'd want me to share with you? I'm still learning to stencil, so I thought I'd get on here, and then if anybody else has their own tips or tricks, or they wanted to ask me what I've learned so far, I could share what I have. Again, taping down real good and offload, offload, offload. If you've got, and then it's more going straight up and down, because if you go up and go along the edges too much, if you're not pushing like right here as you go, it's going to bleed real bad and go underneath. And bleeding is where it's pushing under the edge of your stencil where you don't want it to go. For those who may or may not know. Okay, yeah. This is going to need another coat of white. I don't know if y'all can see where you're at. I'm trying to make it where y'all can see as good as you can. I'm using one of my easels with the attached to, with the phone holder attached to it, so that it'll hold it up and hold it fairly well in place. It's doing a pretty good job. Learning to do some of this is just a lot more than I expected it to be. Let's just put it that way. I thought it'd be pretty easy to just get in front of a camera and go, and it's like, not so much. You suddenly feel like everybody's watching you, which they are actually watching you, but it's not near as bad as it could be. Well, let's see if we can clean up this edge a little bit. I think when I get this white all covered up a little better, then I will go back with the red and touch that one up just a little bit on this part. Okay. I should have covered my 1976 or 1776 with tape, because I'd painted the A underneath it, so part of the one is kind of bleeding through there where I touched the edge near it. So I'll have to fix that in a minute with some blue. We'll just see how that works. Is there any more white that needs touching up? Not seeing any. Alright. Well, I'm hoping this won't be a mistake, since it's the second or third layer of white there, going side to side. I normally am really diligent about going up and down because it causes bleed, but since that first layer is kind of dry and giving me a layer in there, I'm not as worried about it. Kind of sealed some of the edges there. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate you letting me know that I'm doing good. Thank you, Rita, for letting me know too. Like I said, this is my first real teaching video of any sort. I have taught at a couple of classes, and I'm getting past that. It's real easy to get past your nerves when you're at a class, because you're there and everybody's working on their project. But this is a little different, because people are actually watching you to see what you're doing. They're not following your lead and things. So I thought some other people were just a little too worried about it at first, and then I thought about it and I was like, nope, I think I'm with them. It's a little nerve-wracking to be the center of attention, to be the center focus, when you're not used to it, when you're used to being one of those that blends in the background, helping quietly and things like that. So okay, I think all my white letters are done now. Do I dare do that? I think I will. Okay. Then I'm going to grab another one and I'm going to do the red like that. I'm going to grab a version of them about that size. I'll grab some more red. And again, I used True Red and the Snow White, Titanium White for mine. And the background was a mix of the True Blue, Diazonine Purple, and the white. And these are all Deco Art colors because I like Deco Art. It works a little better. I bought a couple of other brands. I'm not anti-folk art. I do like them. I do like the Apple Barrel. I like the Plaid brands. I'm not anti any particular brand. I just, the Deco Art seems like it coats a little better than some of the other brands. I have used several other brands. But right now, I've just decided that I'm going to use the Deco Art because it seems like it coats just a little bit better for what I'm doing. And I just need it to be a little thicker. So I'm almost done with this. And I'm going back and kind of touching the letters up and trying to smooth them out just one more time with doing the red letter up and peeling out any of those crazy stray. Do y'all see that hanging off there? There's a little, there it is. The hair from the stencil brush. I need to get me a really good stencil brush. I know Essential Stencil had some. They were sold out for a while. They were supposed to be getting them back in. I don't know. I am hoping to get me some. My husband laughs and says, "You never tell us what you want for Christmas or your birthday or anything." So I've told at least 2 of my children, I want stencil brushes from Essential Stencil. So, if anybody asks, that's what I want for my birthday or anything like that. So I've told them. They can't say I didn't tell them this time. A couple of weeks ago in a class, Philip said, Pam says, I filled in a couple of weeks ago in a class. It's very nerve-wracking, even though you know what you're doing. Yes, it is. It's very, very nerve-wracking. Pam, I think Essential Stencil said that they were having a problem getting them from their dealer, from their distributor or whatever, whoever they get them from, and that they're working on getting them. I think that's what I read at on Melissa's, when Melissa was doing her summer door hanger last night, that I got this inspiration to do this one from. Actually, I already had it cut out and ready to go. I was just not painting this side yet because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do on this side and then how I wanted to do it. And then she took the letter summer and put stars, layered the stencils and did some stars on it. And I thought that was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome. So I was going to do that here, but then it was like, no, I can't really, I don't have any stars big enough, and I'd already cut this, and I wasn't going to cut another one, and I don't have a big one from them yet, with the letters being bigger. So I thought, I'll just do it this way, and I'll do every other letters, every other color, and that'll make it pop a little bit more. And then I'll stripe this one so that it looks really cute. And then my A. So I'm going to peel this one up. Yay! Didn't mess it up too bad. There is a little bit, I don't know if y'all can see. Let me see if I can lift this and show you. There's a little bit right there in that corner up there by Michigan that the lakes aren't quite right. I'm probably going to hit that with a little bit of blue here in a minute. Okay, where can I set this guy? It has been crazy trying to find the space that I need when I'm doing this. I'm going to cover the A really quick with one more layer of red, just the teeniest little bit, to fill in some of those swirly motions that I did earlier with the thinner layers. That's what I did with all the others. Just a very, very thin layer that I'm putting on here. And I can put that in there now. Okay, now to peel for the reveal. Okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah. Yay! It's working! It's working! Sorry, I have to grab my trash can and bring it back over here. I thought I grabbed it already. I realized after I started that I had not. But I don't want to put the painted stencil down on anything. I have weeding tools, but this one is sitting here and I don't want to have to try and pull them out. So, I try when I'm doing these to not let them fall back in. I don't want my stencil to sit too long, personally. I'm afraid if it sits there too long, it'll start sticking to the paint underneath it, and I have had that happen, and it peels it up and it doesn't look good. But I don't want to pull it up when it's too wet, because then it slops and glops, and as you try to slide this underneath here, under the edge here, to peel them up. I can't see if I've got any new comments, so please forgive me if you've asked a question and I haven't answered it. Okay, no, I just had my husband laughing, saying, great, now I've got video proof that I have told him what I want. Yes, you can come back and refer to it. And what I'm laughing and thinking is, if everyone that I've told me buys me a set of stencils, stencil brushes, I should have several sets of good stencil brushes to use. It's a shame that my birthday and anniversary and all that and Mother's Day are all way far away in May. Okay, last middle section that I've got to pull up. Oh, those came up pretty. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, I'm going to try and get some of this off my finger here. I don't want to get it back down on the board here. Okay, close that before anybody gets hurt on it. Okay, now to peel up my America. Like I said, I didn't happen to have a big stencil or a big set of letters or a bigger set of letters, so I did use my Cameo silhouette to cut mine. Whoop, cut me my letters that I wanted. And I used the Cameo to just line it all up whenever I was in the software program. That way it wouldn't have to worry about it being, my letters being sideways or going too far to the right or to the left. Now, I still managed, I think, to get it on here a little sideways, so it's at a slight angle. But I don't think that's going to hurt us. Not even a little bit. Yay! It did pretty good. Oh, I didn't realize I was backward on the screen. I'm gonna have to figure that one out, love, because I don't know how to turn it around. I know that there's a way to turn your camera around so that you can read things, but I don't know what it is. Okay, I apologize for being backwards on the screen. Apparently I'm backwards on the screen. But I think I'm done for today. And I did want to show you my finished God Bless America with my little striped America up there. He looks kind of cute. Well, I'm going to let y'all go and just say thank you for tuning in. And I appreciate you giving me your attention for a few minutes this morning, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.